Black Wall Street was an economical powerhouse for black people. In the early 1900s, Black Wall Street had over 600 businesses, and some of those businesses consist of private airplanes. They had about 6 private airplanes to fly black people to different states or different countries. They had black-owned taxi services or taxi companies. Okay? Whenever you call a taxi or a cab, the person who come to pick you up looks just like you. They had black-owned banks to give black people business loans so they could open up these businesses. Supermarkets, hospitals. Black people completely controlled the economics in their communities. Not like what you see today with these buffer groups who deplete the resources out of black communities and send the money back to their countries. No, Black Wall Street was strictly black owned. A very successful economical structure. However, what most people don't know is that there was over 100 Black Wall Streets, meaning that the average black community had the same setup, which was blocks and blocks of black-owned businesses, okay, stretching a mile away on both sides of the streets. So there was other places in other cities that was doing well as well, but it just wasn't as famous and known as the original Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But most black communities was doing well and was able to sustain themselves and be self-sufficient in accumulating wealth and resources.
Prospering, like the residents of Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A remarkable Baptist pastor named Solomon Sir Jones is the pioneering filmmaker. His footage was lost for more than 50 years. Jones captures the bustling life of Greenwood, which could be any American small town. But Tulsa's whites don't like what they see. In May 1921, after a black man is accused of assaulting a white woman, a white mob rampages through the city. For a night and a day, they loot and burn Greenwood. A Fox News crew captures the only surviving footage. It is the bloodiest racial massacre in American history, leaving nearly 300 dead.
Let's talk about one of the greatest black success stories in American history, Black Wall Street. Back in the early 1900s in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a thriving black community called Greenwood. Now, this wasn't just any neighborhood. This was a self-sustaining, wealthy black district where businesses were booming. And when I say businesses, we're talking banks, grocery stores, restaurants, hotels, doctors, lawyers, barbershops, you name it. Black entrepreneurs built an entire economy from the ground up, creating generational wealth despite segregation and racism. By 1921, Greenwood was so successful it got the nickname Black Wall Street. Imagine a time when black people weren't even allowed in most white-owned businesses, yet they had built their own thriving economy. But here's the heartbreaking part. On May 31st, 1921, white mobs attacked Greenwood in one of the worst racial massacres in the U.S. history. They burned homes, destroyed businesses, and killed hundreds of black residents. Despite this tragedy, Black Wall Street's legacy still lives on as a symbol of black excellence, resilience, and economic power. It's proof that we support each other, build together, and create our own opportunities, we can achieve greatness. If you didn't know this part of history, now you do. Let's honor their legacy by continuing to build and support black-owned businesses today and forever.
So the founder of Black Wall Street was O.W. Gurley. So he was able to buy 40 acres of land, right, on this very site right here. And he sold parcels of land out to other black business owners. And they was able to build this bustling town called Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, right here. So we need to focus on how he built it and not focus on so much of how it got burned down. But when we build again, we got to protect ourselves. Like I said, we got to protect it. But this used to be All black businesses, all black owned. Money never left the area. Money never left. Money circulated over 21 times here. Something that has never been done again in our community. But we got to get back to it. Black Wall Street, O.W. Gurley started it. So let's
think about this. Now, yes, the Black Wall Streets were burned out, but guess what? We still owned the land. And after many of those massacres, those brothers and sisters came back to build. Do you know what happened? The second and third generation of those Black Wall Streets, not all but several, they didn't believe in an independent black community.
Wow.
By then, integration had come. They said, well, why do I want to keep an independent black community? I could go live with the white folks. Look at our HBCUs now. For people who talk about integration killed us, look at the state of the HBCU right now. They are closing down, threatened with financial sabotage. Why? Because the predominantly white institutions are stealing all our top athletes. You follow me? They're offering more scholarship money, and they're stealing the black child away from the HBCU campus. Is the government making us send our kids to the PWIs? No.
Like I said, we couldn't eat at the restaurant downtown. That's why my daddy put my mama in a restaurant, a black restaurant. And the thing about it is, sweetheart, we own so many more things then than we do now. We didn't, you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah. See, the man is right down the street there, Street Hotel. Man on the Street Hotel was black. Man had the restaurant, Street Hotel was black. The man at the barbershop was black. The man at the bar was black. You understand? They own these things. We own so many things that we don't own anymore. Washington, D.C. Howard Theater. Howard University. This was ours. What are you talking about? New York City, I knew Harlem, baby. When Harlem was Harlem. You understand what?
If Black Wall Street was still up and running, a lot of these other groups of people would not view black people the way they do today. Instead of looking down on black people, they'll be looking up, because black people will be making much more money than they are. If all of that stuff was still going on today, the average black person would be a millionaire. They will be a millionaire. And the only reason why these buffer groups are in black communities, like they have stores and gas stations and barbershops, because black people don't have the capital or the startup money to open their own businesses. They don't have the resources. So the buffer groups has taken over the black financial structure in black communities.
What do y'all know about Black Wall Street? Or better yet, what towns do you know? If you only know Tulsa, I don't judge you, because that's the only one we learn about. But there was over 49 more. And over 100 more all over the country. But 49 more surrounding Tulsa. Cities like Ferguson, Lincoln, Cimarron, Zion, Emmanuel, Eudora, Liberty, Pleasant Valley, Iconium, Douglas, West, Bailey, Homer, Wiley, Booker T, Huttonville, Wayback, Foreman, Macedonia. And that's only a few of the 50 that were surrounding Tulsa. These cities were incorporated by the newly freed men from the 5 tribes, which we talked about in my Native Americans video, Native Americans owned slaves video. Once America tricked them into freeing their slaves, those freed black men ultimately established themselves in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma was considered a promised land. It was beautiful. They were familiar with Oklahoma because that was where a lot of the major reservations were. It was surrounding the Oklahoma area, and it's actually called the Land Rush. The Land Rush was basically when that Oklahoma, that Midwestern land, was up for grabs, and freedmen did what the word entails. They rushed to that land, and it wasn't just one person. They band together. It was a true community, and they had every business you can possibly think of. Whatever business you have in your city, they had that, and it was all black. And a lot of these cities actually made clauses and kind of like laws within their own land that you cannot buy land on this land if you're white, which I love that. So during the land rush, it was actually said that up to 2 million acres of land was up for grabs. And there was a black man named Edwin McCabe. He was an auditor for Oklahoma, and he created the Herald newspaper. I believe it was the Langston City Herald newspaper. And it was basically to let the black people know, newly freed black people know, hey, there's land over here. It was really the only newspaper that black people read at that time. It was very easy to read at that time as well. And it basically told them, come over here. There's land for you here. Your skills will be valued here. You can put that hard work into your own land. And it worked. And honestly, I wouldn't say it was only Edwin McCabe, but he influenced a lot of people with the power of his newspaper, and also how easy it was to read it. He used a lot of pictures as well. Also, Edwin McCabe was very, very influential during this time, but nonetheless, he is like kind of the reason that the word got out that, hey, there's some land over here. Come get it.
There's no Black Wall Street operating for our people. And when I say Black Wall Street, I mean a Black-owned bank, Black-owned school, Black-owned supermarket, Black-owned hospital, and a Black-owned manufacturing and distribution network to give our people jobs and provide them with the basic commodities they need for everyday living. Those 5 institutions are the essence of an independent community. We are $2 trillion people. $2 trillion. The richest group of Africans in the world in terms of income. No Black Wall Street. So the financial restructuring of the way we think, our priorities, our values, and most of all, our spending habits must be a priority if we're going to change this situation.